Markings indicate an echo nearby.
Welcome everyone, this is your boy Agent TSwandol bringing you a Division build video. This is a video that is a long time in the making. I wanted to put this out months ago, but unfortunately my life was interrupted by Hurricane Michael. Yes, I live down here in Panama City, Florida. The hurricane came through on the 10th of October and completely devastated my hometown and my house. Long story, this community is amazing. The outreach of support and just everything, man. Just everything was amazing. This community went above and beyond to make sure your boy was all right, and I can't even tell you how much that means to me and how much I just love this community. But anyway, this build right here is my electric Nomad. This is a build that I actually created, I'd say about a year ago, actually longer than that, before classifieds ever came out. I kind of put this build together. It was actually right around the time that the Ninja Bike first came out. I was a big fan of Tactician. It was one of my favorite builds in the game. And I kind of played with the Tactician Nomad build and just tried some different things. That's the original one, was a Tactician and Nomad. But with the introduction of classifieds, the power of the builds went through the roof. And then when you throw on the inventive backpack, it has potential to just be so overpowered. So yeah, tell you what, you've seen a little bit of clip at the very beginning of how quick I took down the bosses on Warren Gate Legendary solo. I've done every legendary mission in this game solo with this build right here. So yeah, let's jump into this bad boy and get it popping. So we're gonna start off. This is a 5-piece classified Nomad. There we go. 5-piece classified Nomad with the inventive backpack. The inventive backpack is one of the most important pieces to this build, and you'll see why here in just a minute. The build can be used as a 6-piece Nomad, but if you really want the kick, if you really want to do things solo, you have to have the inventive. This build is fully optimized now. It wasn't optimized for a while, so all the content in this game can still be done without a fully optimized build. But let's jump right into it. As you can see, my firearms are sitting at 2,961 with a primary DPS of 217,005. My stamina is 2944 with a toughness of 322,784. And my electronics is 9822 with a skill power of 381,073. Primary weapon is the Elvoa. It is fully optimized with 24% enemy armor damage. It does a whopping 15.4k damage. Don't let that fool you. Talents that I'm running on are Talented. Killing a target with this weapon increases skill power by 15% for 20 seconds. The effect is not stat. Killing a new target refreshes the timer. Competent. Weapon damage is decreased by 10% for 15 seconds after using a skill, which you're pretty much always going to have Competent active. And lastly, the most important talent on here is Ferocious. Damage against elite and named enemies is increased by 10%. As far as my mods here, I've got pretty much the standard mods, magazine size, rate of fire. I wanted to go with reload speed here since it's not a PvP build. I think that little bit of extra reload speed helps out. Then, of course, the C79 with the crit chance, crit damage, a little bit of stability. The muzzle here with crit damage, crit chance, headshot damage. And lastly, I use the angle grip for that stability in PvE. PvP, I would be using the small grip. My secondary weapon is the custom M44. This is again fully optimized with 172 headshot damage. It is doing 92.1k on the damage. Talents are exact same. Competent with the weapon damage increased by 10% for 15 seconds after using a skill. Talented, the 15% skill power boost for 20 seconds after killing a target. And then lastly, this one is actually balanced. I opted to go with balance instead of ferocious here because balance allows you to pop shot with a marksman rifle. And definitely very important. That way you're not having to sit there and expose yourself while that reticle bloom zeroes in on the target. With the mods, again, is extended magazine size with reload speed and rate of fire. I've got the VX1 12-time scope with headshot damage, and crit chance. Got the Omega rifle suppressor with the same talents of crit damage, crit chance, and headshot damage. And lastly, I use the vertical grip to have a little bit more optimal range with a little bit of accuracy and critical hit damage. I have a purple pistol here. This is a gear score 185. I use the purple one because of the talent requirements are so much lower for cool-headed. Performing a headshot reduces all skill cooldowns by 5%, which is really, really good. You can get your signature skill back really fast, and your other skills. You get your skills back fast on this build, period, but this is mainly used for getting my recovery link back whenever it does proc. And then secondly is predatory. Killing a target regenerates 35% health over 20 seconds. And to be honest with you, that doesn't really do anything right now. I don't use the pistol to kill targets on this one. I just happen to have that talent rolled on it. I do have a gear score 205 pistol that I've rolled with predatory and cool-headed, and that's what I use on all my other loadouts. But this one, I had to use the purple one. All right, so let's jump over to the chest piece. So the chest piece is, of course, the classified Nomad chest piece, fully optimized with 2003 armor. It's got a perfect 1401 electronics roll. Major attribute is 16,647 health, 9% skill haste, with the minor being 56% ammo capacity, and I have two 202 electronic mods with 4% damage to elites. I got these mods a couple months ago. They had them for sale in a vendor, and I bought a bunch of them. I recommend every Friday, if you're trying to do PvE content, every Friday, go to all the vendors, or there's some websites that will show you where you can buy certain pieces. Look for those 4% damage to elite ones. When you get them, pick them up. I don't know if I'm going to get back into doing live vendor resets or not before the Division 2. Moving on to the mask next. This is another classified Nomad mask. It is fully optimized rolled electronics with a 1401 electronic roll. Major attributes are 10,030 skill power, and your minor is very important here, 12% damage to elites. Again, on this one I have a prototype electronics mod, 202 electronics with 4% damage to elites. Next, we're getting into the knee pads, and again, they're classified Nomad knee pads with the perfect 1401 electronics roll. Major attribute is skill power at 13,339. Minor attributes, you can pretty much have anything you want as long as you have the damage to elites, and again, it's optimized 16% damage to elites. And on the bottom here we have a prototype electronics mod with 202 electronics and 4% damage to elites, and then I have a prototype performance mod of 4% seeker mine damage mod. Holster here is fully optimized, 1001 armor. No, it's not fully optimized. All right, I got to do a little bit more. 1401 on the firearm electronics, and I got to get the stamina up a little bit higher. Major attribute here is 7% skill haste, and again I have a 4% seeker mine damage mod. All right, our fifth gear piece is the classified Nomad gloves rolled electronics with a 1401 electronics roll. Major attributes I have are 12% assault rifle damage to get that little extra damage since I'm not doing a ton of damage with the gun. 8% enemy armor damage, again, to have a little bit more stopping power when hitting NPCs. And lastly, 9% skill haste. Alright, so we've covered the 5 classified pieces. Before we get to the 6th piece, let's go over exactly what these pieces are. So, for having 2 pieces of classified Nomad on, or any 2 pieces, set bonus 2 is 15% health on kill. Every time I kill an NPC, I get 15% of my max health back, which is very nice. For having 3 pieces of Nomad on, it activates the Nomad's Resolve talent, which grants a constant small amount of healing, allowing the user to regenerate all segments of health bar during combat. That is very important. No matter what's going on, anytime you take damage, you're constantly getting a little bit of health back. So you're getting that little bit back all the time, and every time you kill something, you're getting the 15% back on top of it. So you're constantly refilling your health all the time. Alright, here we are. Now we're getting into the really, really good stuff. Set bonus 4, Path of the Nomad. When receiving fatal damage, you are instead healed to full health. This can occur once every 4 minutes. If you've run with the Nomad, you'll know right below the grenade emblem there, you see the Nomad emblem is green. That means that is active. if I were to take damage, first my overheal bar would go down, then my normal health bar would go down, and once I take that damage, all of a sudden, poof, it goes back up to full health, and then the little green Nomad emblem is now red, and it'll stay red for 4 minutes, and you can see it's kind of like a countdown timer. It'll start getting shorter and shorter, and then it'll pop green again when it's active again. So that's for having the 4-piece on. All right, so in order to reach the 5 and 6-piece bonuses for any of these classified sets, you have to have all classified gear on. You can't just have 4 pieces of regular Nomad and then the 5th piece, any 5th piece, be a classified. To activate the 5th talent, it has to be all classified. So once you are wearing 5 pieces of classified Nomad, you get set bonus 5, which is 10% plus 10% health on kill. That is added to the already 15% health on kill that you get from the 2-piece right here. And then you get the talent Improved Nomad's Resolve, which increases the amount of healing from Nomad's Resolve. Nomad's Resolve will now overheal. So as you can see, I not only have my 3 full segments of health, but I also have an overheal bar that is fully stays at full heal at all times. The only time that goes down is when taking damage. So really I have 150% health. Nice, right? Alright, so let's jump back in here. The 6-piece is called Nomad's Luck. This is a 50% chance to have no cooldown for Path of the Nomad when playing solo. And then you take 60% less damage for 10 seconds after Path of the Nomad is triggered. So, you would think that's nice. Hey, man, you got a 50% chance to have your little green Nomad emblem not turn red and stay green, plus you take 60% less damage. And that is nice. But it doesn't work for this build. One thing that I used to love about Tactician builds was the fact that you could solo content. You could do the legendary solo with Secret Mines and Sticky Bombs. My one gripe against it was your ass better stay in cover. It wouldn't take long for you to get just absolutely shredded. And your only way to have any kind of healing is to have your medkits, which you'll go through them. You can eat your canned food, which gives you a 40% healing effect, but you can only use that once every couple minutes. And then, of course, your recovery link. So that's it for healing, especially if you're going to run Seekers and Sticky. And then if you stick your head out of cover to shoot an NPC and he hits you a couple of times, well, you kiss your ass goodbye because you're stacked so high into electronics and skill power that you have no toughness whatsoever and you are just instantly shredded. So that was the one thing I didn't like about it, was the fact that you pretty much had to just stay behind cover the entire time or you're going to die. But with this build, I have all the healing. I have a total of 25% health on kill. I have a constant dose of healing that will put me in an overheal. Once every 4 minutes, I can take fatal damage and be instantly healed to full health. And on top of that, I've got a recovery link that's got a 349 second cooldown. That's really nice right there. That's really nice. So, let's get in this bad boy real quick. I'm going to just throw on let me find it. Let me just throw in the Nomad backpack real quick. So now I have a 6-piece Nomad on. With this 6-piece Nomad, I have it doesn't have it's not electronic roll. Where's something that's electronic rolled? Alright, so let's say I have a 6-piece classified on all electronics. Sticky bomb damage is 895,000, and I get it every 30 seconds, and my Seekers are doing 62k damage each. Get them every 19 seconds. That's not bad. Not bad at all. Plus, you could say if I was wearing all Nomad, that, I'd have that 60 or 50% chance of not taking fatal damage. But here's what I like about Inventive. Inventive, the skill is increased skill power by 15% while at full health. And on this backpack, which is fully optimized with 1272 electronics, major attribute is 13,339 skill power, with the minor being 56 ammo capacity. Again, I have a prototype electronics mod of 202 electronics with 4% damage to elites, and I'm running 2 4% sticky bomb damage mods. So with this, the increase skill power by 15% while at full health. Well, I'm in a full overheal, so I pretty much have inventive active at all times. And if I do take some damage and I'm not at full health, all I do is drop a sticky bomb, a seeker mine, or hit a sticky bomb, or even just kill an NPC, and I get 25% of my health back, which is going to put me back at full health pretty quick, which means that, well, inventive is active again. So with inventive, I am now doing 1.1 million damage on my sticky bomb, and I'm doing 74,000 damage on my seeker mines. That's not bad at all, you know, that's really not bad. But where this really shines at is when you start adding in the bonuses. Alright, so my skill power is 381,000. Whenever I kill an NPC with either of my guns, since I have talented on both of them, my skill power jumps up to 438,000. 438,000. So I have a sticky bomb that's doing 1.1 million damage. If I kill an NPC, my sticky bomb is now doing 1.3 million damage. It jumps up quite a bit. My seeker mines are now doing 85,000 damage each, which is a lot better. But it's better. It gets better than that. Where does it get better? It gets better with the talents. First talent that I run is Strike Back, reach low health to reduce active skill cooldowns by 20%. And I'm going to be honest with you, this talent does not proc very often. And I actually didn't use it for a while, but when doing General Assembly solo and Napalm and even Madison Field Hospital solo, I found out that this actually saved my ass a few times, because there are some parts of that mission that you can get yourself in a very sticky situation. So this actually came in and helped out tremendously in those missions that you're having to fight 5 or 6 bosses that are healer bosses and a hunter and stuff solo. Definitely came in and saved my ass. Where this thing really gets going is right here. First one I have is Demolition Expert. Demolition Expert is kill a hostile with an explosion to increase explosion damage by 20% for 15 seconds. Alright, so my sticky bomb's doing 1.1 million. If I kill an NPC and I get talented proc, it's now doing 1.3 million. If I kill a hostile with talented, I have a 1.3 million sticky bomb, and then I shoot a sticky bomb at somebody and I blow them up, right? Now I'm doing 20% more damage, which puts it at 1.5 million damage on that. That jumps my seeker mines up to 102,000. So if I sticky bomb somebody with talented active, I'm blowing them up. I'm doing a 1.3 million damage on it. Well, then my seeker mine goes from being 74,000. Well, I had talented, so it's actually up to 80-something thousand. Plus you add in Demolition Expert, and it's doing 102,000 per seeker that I'm dropping out. That shreds people. Then you jump over here and you see I got Chain Reaction. Damage multiple hostiles with an explosion to apply 20% more damage from the blast. So, my math is not all that great, but let's just try to give this a whirl. So I'm doing 1.1 million with my sticky. I kill somebody with either one of my 2 weapons to get talented proc. So now I'm doing 1.3 million. I shoot a sticky bomb at somebody, and I hit 2 or 3 people, right? So now that 1.3 now does 1.5 million damage right off the rip right there, just from that one. And because I damaged multiple hostiles on it, now I have 20% more damage from my blast. So I'm taking a seeker mine that did have, what did we say, 74,000, jumps it up to 85,000 with talented. Then I get the extra 20%, so now we're sitting at 102,000. And then whenever they go rolling around and hit that, they're doing another 20%. It's amazing how quick I've been able to just destroy everything. This build is amazing. I love it. I have so much fun using it. My last talent that I used is On the Move. Kill a hostile while moving to reduce incoming damage by 15% for 10 seconds. This is another one that you could trade in and out. Death by proxy is really good. Destroy a hostile's deployed skill to increase skill power by 20%. You see where I'm going with this. You can just keep making it stronger and stronger. I've used this one before on certain, it works decent on Warren Gate, where you got a lot of the engineers putting up turrets. You destroy one of those, and you get the point. You just keep stacking all these bonuses, and it becomes more powerful, more powerful, more powerful, and you just continue to just shred everything in your path. Yes, you can get stronger with Tactician, but you have to be so careful. With this one, I can still have fun and aim down sights and shoot and kill NPCs, whereas before you cannot do that. You just got to stay in cover, constantly getting healing. Not to mention, because this is fully optimized, I have 58% damage to elites, which is the max you can have on a build. That you can actually get higher. 58% damage to elites. I've got 25% damage on, health on kill. I've got 32% enemy armor damage, which is not the highest. You can be higher on that, but it is what it is. Skill haste is only at 25%, which that could get higher. If I really wanted to, I could put it on a, well, no, I don't think I could. I think I already have it on my gloves. You could run some mods with skill haste on it. I've done those before to get the skill cooldowns, but I prefer doing the damage to elites because I like to do this solo. Now, if you are rolling in a group, I would say run some electronic skills haste or skill power mods, make it a little bit stronger. This is really set up for solo play. When you play solo, the game, it prorates for how many players you have. So if it's you going against all the legendaries, you're going to melt them a lot quicker than you would if you were in a group. So therefore, solo, I would go with damage to elites. In a group, I would roll with either extra skill haste or, like I said, some more skill power. If you want some more damage to elites in this, it's very simple. If you feel like you're getting overwhelmed by a couple bosses, all you got to do, open up this menu by holding right on the D-pad, go over, drink you a bottle of water, get yourself 20% damage to elites, and now you are rolling with 78% damage to elites. That will completely and totally annihilate anything in your path, no problems. I use the Seekers and the Sticky, but I do change it out for certain things when I do Times Square solo at the very end when you got to fight the big sergeant, whatever. I switch to Seekers and a turret, and I throw the turret right up here, and that turret will just shred the boss, the big heavy. You don't have to just shoot his back. A turret will actually can shoot him anywhere, and it will destroy him extremely fast. You do have to kind of put it up high though, because if you set it down somewhere else, he'll just jump up and take it out. And whenever I do that, I do switch over here, and I have two 4% turret damage mods that I switch out real quick. And now I got my turret that's doing almost 12k damage, especially when you start factoring in talented and all that. And then one cool thing about the turret, if you are using a turret, if your primary weapon has the talent ferocious in it, your turret will also gain that 10% damage to elites and named enemies. So everybody, I'm just going to tell you right now, I love this build. I know I talk a lot, probably sounding like an idiot doing this video, but I'm so proud of this build. This is the very first build that I truly came up by myself a long time ago. I've had so much success. I've had so many of my friends that have had success with it, and a ton of my friends use this build. This is what they use to do their missions solo. I've seen them take it in the Dark Zone and the Last Stand, and they've had so much success. Like I said, you could put the electronic skill power mods on there and take it into Last Stand and just completely piss people off. But yeah, you can pretty much do anything you want. There are always going to be a few areas that are going to be hard. Napalm, the 4 agents at the end, is quite tricky. Sometimes you got to just switch around and play around with it till you figure the right build. General Assembly was actually fairly easy. The hardest part was the helicopter, believe it or not. The helicopter at the very end gave me more trouble than anything else. So, but anyway, everybody, I appreciate you sticking around. Sorry this video is so long, but when it comes to this game, I can just get stuck for hours and hours and hours talking about the little things here and there that make it amazing. Division 2, it's right around the corner, y'all. As soon as I get my hands on my beta code for the private beta, the closed, the open, whatever it is, I'm going to be streaming that non-stop. But until then, y'all have a wonderful day. Get out there, get them classified sets, get the Get the shields. If you need a hand with any of them, let me know. I do not mind helping you farm to get any exotic weapons or pieces that you may need. Any of the other shields that you're struggling with that you need help with, the survival ones, extract 5 items, survive 5 hours, or kill 5 hunters, let me know. I'll jump in there. I'll help you with it. We'll get it knocked out. We got our last one coming out, and then after this is said and done, it's only a matter of time until we are in Washington. Agents, I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you're able to get this build and try it out. I want to give a massive shout out to my homeboy, Mr. Commendation. Hands down, one of the best dudes this community has. He will help anybody do flawless missions, incursions, anything you need help with. This man will spend hours and hours and hours making sure that it gets done for you. He is the most patient, kind-hearted guy I've ever met. He's going through some stuff right now, and so, Mr. Commendation, much love, prayers, everything's going out to you and your homeboy. I hope everything's all right. Everybody in the community, y'all have a wonderful one. Hit me up if you're new here to this channel. Hit that subscribe button. I'm going to be streaming again every day. My whole channel is about helping other people. I am strictly Division and now PUBG. When Division 2 comes out, though, everything else falls by the wayside, and it's back to the Division, the true community that I love, the community that got me back into gaming. Time to stop rambling. Y'all have a good night. It's Agent TSwandol saying peace out.